Okay, so I'm just going to explain to you my method teaching straight lines a little bit different when it's normally being taught, right? So I know a lot of people teach rear trailer focus, and I found that people struggle with that a lot more. And to me, where you're focused at and what you're trying to accomplish really makes a big difference. So here's some misconceptions. People are trying to treat these two as one unit that you control the back of the trailer with the steering wheel, and it really doesn't work that way. So what's really happening is this is a separate unit from this. You got to always think of it that way. This unit behaves like a long wheelbarrow, the trailer. Where it's pointing is exactly where it's going. There's no turning to those back wheels whatsoever. So there's no connection between that steering wheel and the back of that trailer whatsoever. So to me, it's kind of silly to try to move the back of the trailer directly with a move of the steering wheel, because it really doesn't work that way. And people think that it works that way, and they teach it still. But if you got offset by more than about 45 degrees, you would see that that opposite move thing don't work. And what I mean by that is, if I want the back of my trailer to go to the left, I turn the wheel to the right, vice versa. But if you got offset more than like 45 degrees between your tractor and trailer, it quits working completely. And you can test it out if you want. So, because it's not correct. What is correct is that we move the front of the trailer, because the only connection we have to this trailer is at the kingpin right here. So this thing goes wherever it is pointing. So instead of watching the rear of the trailer, watch the entire trailer, and you'll see that the back of the trailer only goes as a result of where this went, and most of the movement happens up here at this end. So when you learn to control the front of the trailer, you're going to be much more accurate. And it's kind of weird to get people who are not used to looking at it that way at the beginning. It's hard for me to get them to see it. But once they see it, you can roll this thing over a dime, because you just learn how to point this thing. So instead of an opposite turn of the steering wheel and thinking opposite, I don't use the terms left and right, and I don't use opposite because it causes people confusion. But it's direct with the front of the trailer. So if I'm looking in my mirrors, I work directly within them. If I see the front of my trailer moving this way, I can move it back with my steering wheel. Whatever way I move my steering wheel, this actually moves. If you keep rolling, instead of stopping, a lot of people will stop and start, you don't see it as much. So if you keep it rolling, you'll see that whatever move you make of the steering wheel, this part of the trailer moves. And we change the way it points when it rotates around those back tires, right? So why don't you jump in there and try that, and I'll step you through. And you could, if you want to film it from up here down the line, you can kind of see it better. Let me show you. So when we start, you don't have to wear your seatbelt in the yard. So when we start it up, turn this key to the accessory mode. You let the needle sweep, and then it'll start up. Here's our release trailer tractor. Make sure they both stay in. And then you have to have your foot on the brake, and then flip this to reverse and watch it up here. Okay? Yep. Watch both top mirrors now, the top mirror. And make small moves. When we make a move, we want to mark where straight is. So we want to put one hand here, for example, or we can do one here. Go ahead and put it in reverse, it's okay. Now put one hand here and here. So when we make a move, we're going to turn, keep your hands gripped, don't let go. We're going to turn it about half a turn. On a brand new truck, a quarter turn would be good, like 10 to 2. But we'll go a little bit more because some of these trucks have a little free play in them. And you're going to hold till you get the result you want in the mirror, and then go back to straight. We're going to make a turn that way, hold it until we get the result we want in the mirrors, and then go back to straight. You can't spin the wheel here. Those moves are too big. Your tractor will be bumping into the line. Okay? So let's watch both top mirrors. Watch the bottom edge of your trailer. You're comparing it to that line on the ground. You want to keep them parallel. And so if this part of the trailer moves too far from the line, you're going to push it back. The hardest part is to realize that you're actually watching the whole thing, comparing it to the line at all times. Always know where your trailer's pointing, because where it's pointing is where it's going. And it's the front of the trailer that you need to focus on which way it needs to go. And whatever way it needs to go, that's the way you turn the wheel. Small moves and hold it and let the result happen. All right, so let's try it. Does it look parallel now, the side of the trailer? Go ahead and put it in reverse. All right, now go ahead and step on the gas. Light, steady pressure, get it slowly rolling. Well, we got to release our brakes. Push them both in, make sure they stay. Push and hold. Don't punch them, push and hold and make sure they stay in. They both in? All right. Come on back. And you see they're not parallel anymore? Stop here a minute. Which way does the front of the trailer need to move now? Can you tell? Can you see down the line here, Dallas? The two lines? So the front of the trailer needs to go, is drifting that way, so we need to push it back this way. So turn and hold and watch that move over this way. Just give it time till they're parallel. Okay? Make the lines parallel, use both mirrors. Now, we've got two different views in our mirrors now. We've got what I call bulkhead in this mirror, which is the front wall of the trailer. And we can see the side of the trailer in the other mirror, in the top mirror. You see how you can see the side wall of the trailer in that mirror? That means we're crooked like this. You need two mirrors to verify straight. So when you're crooked, you got to get the tractor back straight now, or the trailer will keep rotating. So what we're going to do is turn towards the mirror with the trailer in it now, which is an opposite move in the other way we just turned, which is in that mirror. And you hold that until you get the same view in both mirrors again, and then immediately go back to straight. It's time sensitive. You got to kind of be quick about it. Come on back. Turn it harder. No, you didn't turn it long enough. It's still that you still got bulkhead in this mirror. If you don't have the same view, you got to hold it a little longer. All right, we didn't correct it in time, and you turned it back too soon. So let's just go forward again and try this area. You can come in. So that'll go black in it's like 2 minutes. So it's a screensaver, and you can just touch the screen and come back on. But just kind of watch how little I turn the wheel and how often I turn it. Okay, so I'm watching the entire length of the bottom edge of my trailer in that mirror and comparing it to the line on the ground, and I'm just aiming it where I want it to go. And right now, if you look at that mirror, you can see the top mirror. The trailer's pointed at that cone mirror. I got to fix that. I got to put the front of my trailer towards that mirror. All right, fix that, but it's going to go out of my view when I do it. I'm going to hold it long enough to get it to happen and back straight. I can't let it get out of control. It get out of control really quick. So I'm going to keep the truck rolling and make small moves. Wow. You had that mirror all hooked up, I believe. Fix that. All right. That's better. Never any big sweeping moves. Just a lot of small, subtle moves to the front of the trailer, nudging it towards whatever line it's drifting away from. Never any big moves. And I keep it rolling at a good clip so I can see the results of my turns. If I stop, I can't see the results of my turns. And it makes you want to oversteer because you don't see the result and your brain says, what I did didn't create a result, so turn it harder, which is not really what you want to do. What you want to do is just keep the truck rolling faster so the result takes place. I don't know if I described that the best way, but keep the truck rolling and you'll see the results faster is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm going to do it again. So I got my mirrors focused, and these mirrors aren't balanced. So one of these mirror brackets is bent. I think it's that one over there. So it's common in some of these trucks where the mirrors have been hit by other trucks parking next to them, these older trucks, and they're just out of alignment a little bit. You can't ever get both mirrors to be to show the same parallel. You got to figure out which mirror you need to trust. I think it's this mirror is a more trustworthy one if you're playing with it a little bit. This truck. Once you get past on your straight line of test, you just need to be completely past those last cones. Put it in neutral, second brakes, honk your horn on a straight line. All right, so I'll let you jump over here and try it. All right, hold that. Come on here. All right. All right. Forward nice and straight. Good. All right, remember that. Don't let the steering wheel confuse your eye because it's out of alignment with it. So check your wheel outside if you want to make sure. But I think if I remember right, straight was like right there. See the front of your trailer's drifting from the line over here? Push it closer to it. And then that's all it took. That's all it took. You held it too long. Stop right there. See, now you held it too long and you got bulkhead in that mirror. You see it?
Yep.
You got to be watching the right thing and react. So you held it too long and you pushed it way over and now you're pointing at that line. So it's subtle moves and back to straight. Subtle move, back to straight. So it's not, you know, can't hold it forever.
Okay.
All right, let's go back forward. Try it again. Just got to react to what you see. I shouldn't have had this on wide angle for this. All right, let's try it again. Subtle moves, just back to straight. Keep the trailer parallel with the line. Be subtle, be sensitive to the subtle movements at the bottom edge of that trailer. It's already too much. Move the front of the trailer back closer to that line. Watch it move. You didn't turn it hard enough fast enough. Turn it go up a little further. All right, let's try it again. Now, you pulled up a little bit of an angle. Now you see how your trailer's not parallel with the line? So practice finding your straight spot and pulling up towards that. All right, so we need to start out with a turn this way, half a turn. Yep, put it in reverse. Come on back, I'll talk you through it. Let the trailer get parallel using both mirrors. If it's blocking your view, now look in the other mirror. Okay, stop right there. Now we need to get rid of the bulkhead by turning the opposite way towards the trailer. Let's mark straight with our hands. So get your hands marked and don't move them. Okay, and hold that. Watch both mirrors until you get the same view and then go back to straight. Come on back. Turn it harder if you wanted to react faster, if it's not reacting fast enough. See, this wheel's got some free play in it. Now back to straight quickly. And then you, see now if you take your hands off the wheel, you lose track of where straight is. So you need to keep them marked. So else you're doing what I call the bus driver move, where you keep moving your hands and turning the wheel and you don't know where straight is. So we have to know where straight is. And right now on that wheel, that's straight. So that's actually straight on this truck, so the wheel's out of alignment. So you would mark it here and here. Okay, that's gonna cause this problem. So go ahead and mark that. Let's continue on back. We're gonna get the turn that way, put it in reverse. Turn the wheel that way. We're gonna make the sides parallel again. A little harder, half turn, okay. Now watch both mirrors, look where your trailer's pointing, compare the sides of the trailer with the line on the ground. Now back this way, towards the trailer. Keep it rolling, just turn the wheel this way. Yeah, turn the wheel back this way and watch in both mirrors till we get the same view again. Now we got get rid of that bulkhead in that mirror by turning towards the trailer in this mirror. Keep coming. And hold it until we get the same view. And then immediately back to straight, back to straight. You were too slow. And now see what happened? We got bulkhead in this mirror, so it's time sensitive. You have to be quick. So now we have to turn towards the trailer in that mirror to get rid of the bulkhead you created in this mirror. Until you get the result you want, until it's gone. Yeah, if you don't hold it long enough, you hold it too long, you get bulkhead in your other mirror. So whenever you see bulkhead in your mirror, like this is bulkhead, you're crooked again. You're jackknifing. So let's go forward and try it again. So you're still taking your hands off the wheel and losing that track of where straight is. So we need to try to keep track of where straight is. Mark it. Let's go ahead and step on the gas and go forward up. Try to stay straight and let the trailer follow you. And this time, whenever we need to make a turn, let's not stop. Let's keep rolling so you can see the results of the steering wheel moves. Stay straight. All right, let's stop there. Now, this time I want you to mark your hands, put it in reverse. Remember, you can't trust the steering wheel, so let go of it a minute. That ain't straight, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I gotta look out here at the window of these lug nuts, I can see it. That's actually straight, so forget about this if you can. Put a hand here, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. So be there and there. and forget about this and trust this and this. Do not move these off of here. Those are your reference points. So when you go back to straight, that's the position you want your hands back in. So we're gonna make a move here, hold, back to straight, and you know what I mean, like that. You wanna try it? You wanna try it? Yeah, go ahead. There you go. All right, whoa. That was good, right up to the end. That was really good. All right, go back forward. That was really good till it got right up to the end there. Yeah. How are you, Autumn? You want to do a couple? All right, go ahead, jump in there. All right, go ahead and put it in neutral, set your brakes, and let Dallas have a shot. Huh? I got it. All right. Yeah, pull the yellow one out and the red one will come out with it. All right. That was good. So you're getting the feel for it? You kind of see it? Yeah, that last one you did was really good. Wasn't until the very end where you kind of got confused there.
I was a little sketched out.
Yeah, that happens a lot. You get towards the end and it kind of gets a little off, but yeah, you're good. He's pointed at that line and needs to move the front of the trailer towards it so it rotates around the back tires and points away from it. May have to stop him here. Stay nice and center. Make sure you're watching both mirrors. Don't just use one. Everybody wants to have a favorite mirror. It's usually the driver's side. There we go. This way, this way. There you go. Now back the other way, get rid of that bulkhead in that mirror, and then back to straight. Good. Bulkhead in this mirror, turn towards the trailer to get rid of it. That was a good one. That was really good, that last one. Yeah, you looked at this mirror, I think, a little bit too long and didn't notice that bulkhead in that mirror over there. So it's important to use both mirrors, I think, back and forth. All right, take a couple turns each and switch out. Put it in neutral, pull the yellow knob out, and both of them. Yeah, just take a couple turns each and switch out.